If you want to take your book to the next level and scale your books, you have to understand how to do it with ads. You absolutely have the option to do this organically, but every person that I've ever met that's made six figures on Amazon KDP has said, Jenny, I wish I knew you sooner, because ads is just a magnification of what's already working. It is literally the gasoline, but you have to have the fire, right? The fire comes in three forms: having an amazing book cover, having keywords that trend, and then being in the proper category. In this video, I'm going to break down how to troubleshoot your Amazon book ads so you are very clear about what needs to happen, okay? So I'm going to draw this out to make it a little bit more visual. I'm a visual learner. My name is Jenny Hansen Lane, and I have sold multiple six figures. My income, my book income stream machine is at $125,000, and I've been able to do that with ads. So I've been doing this for 3 years, and I just published my 608th book. So let's dive into scaling in an automatic campaign. And I'm going to share my screen here so you can see exactly how I'm doing it, okay? So every book that has made me over 40 grand started this way. I always turn on an automatic campaign, okay? Now there's two choices when you are turning on an ad, and the other one is manual, and that's when Amazon will ask you if you want to target your competitor's book or use keywords. I love having Amazon tell me what to do. So I don't do manual campaigns until I have already properly scaled my book into multiple thousands of profits. And I start that with automatic campaign, okay? When you have an automatic campaign, there's something that happens. Your book goes after 4 different areas, okay? So we have our book here. And one area is that Amazon is going to look for substitutes. So if your book is speaking the language of another book and the customer is buying similar, Amazon will start substituting your book for other things they're looking for. So that's very cool, right? The next target that you can come across is loose match. And this is when Amazon is showing your book to something that's closely, well, I shouldn't say closely, it's loosely related. It's a little bit looser, right? So we'll actually, maybe this shouldn't be straight, because loose is a little bit loosey, right? It's something where Amazon is doing its part because they have more customer knowledge than we do, right? And so being able to follow this path, like if we trust Amazon, they're going to find all the customers that are loosely related to the book that you're trying to sell, okay? The next one, these are not in any particular order, I actually forget the order, is close match. So if Amazon saw that you are buying mileage logbooks because you're a forklift driver, you deliver medical supplies or whatever you do, they're going to show you all the other books that are closely related to that. Okay, so that's really, really powerful. And the last one is one of my favorites, and this is complement. And so if Amazon feels like there is something that your book is relating to their target audience, then they will absolutely show your book, okay? So I like to think of these 4 targets essentially as 4 different algorithms. And the reason why is because there's so much data that can be found. Amazon will show you the search terms, they'll show you other books that are competing with yours, and I really like having 4 algorithms for one campaign. But here's where it gets tricky, okay? How do we know what's happening with our book, okay? We turn on an ad, and what we first are able to get for free dollars, this is such a blessing, is impressions. This is how many times your book is shown. These guys, how much do these cost? You guys know, put it in the chat. This is $0 hairs, or dollars if you're in the United States, okay? This is really powerful because I run Facebook ads to find more beautiful people like you, and I have to pay if someone like side-eyes my ad like this, like I have to pay Zuckerberg when that happens. But on Amazon, I don't pay to show because impressions are free. The only thing that we pay for is the cost per click, okay? So cost per click, if you hear us say CPC, that is what that means, cost per click. And each category has a different cost per click. But we have to get impressions before we get cost per click, right? So if you get, let's just say 1,000 impressions on your campaign. Congratulations, you're running an ad, right? Let's say you get 1,000 impressions, but you get no clicks. Oof, no clicks, okay? This means, this equals, well, actually, let's do it like a math equation so then it makes sense. Okay, so 1,000 impressions subtract minus no clicks equals, anybody know what that equals? No sales, right? But what that means is you have a bad cover. Okay. Now, this is assuming that you have published in the correct categories. Okay. If you haven't published in the correct categories, we've got to talk about something different. But here's the beautiful thing about having a bad cover. You can upload a new cover while running ads. You don't have to unpublish your book. So in a way, like from a marketing standpoint, that becomes, because you've already gotten 1,000 impressions and no clicks, it now becomes an A/B test. And that is powerful. A/B testing allows you to put two different things together and see what does better. This is kind of a delayed A/B test, but because the book stays live, you're able to say, okay, we actually didn't get any clicks from that campaign. We've got to switch out the cover, okay? Because the impressions were free, right? Okay, so let's say we upload our cover. We have to pay attention to this. If you wanted to start a new campaign, you could, but it takes about 48 hours to get a cover live, sometimes faster. So let's say that's one scenario, okay? The other scenario is, let's say you get 1,000 impressions, and let's say you get 15 clicks. Okay, so 1,000 plus 15 clicks, but subtract no sales. Do we know what this equals? Okay, this is a description issue. Okay, this means your book did not convince them to buy. Your description did not convince them to buy. They like the cover enough because they're touching it. But if you get more than 15 and they're not buying, we need to look at, what did you actually say? What did you actually say in your description, okay? Every book description should have a hook. Okay, what is a hook? Are you tired of your kids being so noisy in the car that you need this travel, airplane, travel, road book, blah, blah, blah? That's a hook. Are you looking for prettier covers for back to school? That's a hook. Whatever, so hooks essentially pitch the problem your book solves. Okay, I hope you have light bulbs going off. If you do, put light bulb or an emoji light bulb in the comments. This is why low content books can be more difficult to sell, because it is so easy to put a cover up and so many people do it. So it becomes very competitive. So then it really asks the question, what problem is your book selling, right? Or sorry, what problem is your book solving? And so we have to really get more strategic about the book. So understanding the customer is a big part, okay? So hook is number one. Number two is speaking to that customer. Speaking to the customer. And that is knowing why they have that pain, right? Like I just told you, are you tired of a kid being noisy in the car? Like that's speaking to a parent, right? So you can do that in the hook. You have to do it on the description somewhere, okay? The third thing to do is to communicate the benefits. Okay, a lot of people never do this. Okay, this is different than what you put inside the book. What you put inside the book was the features. This word search has 400 pages. That is a feature. Okay, what is the benefit? Hours of fun. Okay, so you can ask ChatGPT when you're done with your book, you can upload the PDF of your book to ChatGPT and ask it, what are the benefits to this book? I need to make sure my description has really great benefits and we're not just focusing on the features. Features are okay, but it's actually when someone can close their eyes and they can envision themselves holding this book in their hand, okay? Which brings us to the fourth thing that a book page needs. Do you guys know what this is? I'll write it big. Oof, you know, A+ content. Okay. This is essentially, which a lot of people skip, this is your book sales page. So like nowadays, there's enough publishers that when someone scrolls on your page, they want to be stopped, they want to be entertained, they want to be educated about what your book does. And so you need to do A+ content. And with A+ content, you want to show the inside of your book. One day I'll be able to look at the screen and type at the same time. Oh wait, maybe we can right here inside your book. Oof. Okay. So this is essentially what we're focused on to get the conversions, okay? So we go back to this. We go back if we're not getting any impressions. Okay. We skip this one because it's so basic, but I'll tell you, if you're not getting any impressions, we could even fit it right here. 0 impressions. Anybody knows what that means? 0 impressions. Just put the timestamp of me saying this in the answer below. 0 impressions means not big enough bid. Okay, bid amount. Bid amount is how much you're willing to spend to get a customer. Okay. And all of us, because it's a cost per click platform, we're all paying different amounts and we're all competing with each other. So if you're not getting any impressions, you need to raise this. And then once you raise this, you'll start seeing impressions. And once you start seeing impressions, then you'll start getting clicks, right? And if you're not getting the clicks, you need to change your cover. But if you're getting the clicks and you're not getting the sales, you got to fix the sales page. If you are getting the impressions, right, this is what it leads us to. If you're getting the impressions and you are getting the clicks, that should lead to sales, okay? And then you put those profits back into your book. So let me know what questions you have about scaling your book. This is something I've done many times, but a lot of people get hung up if they don't know like the next steps. So I love you guys. Here is another video that YouTube is suggesting, and I'll see you in the next video.